can't lose. No, we can't lose.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Gambling gods, fickle bunch. Oh yeah, so easily
We
affected.
have a shooter and a good one coming out for a new point. Get your bets down, ladies and gentlemen. He's a rolling point is 9, place 9. 9 a winner. Got a hot hand. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
They bet on absolutely anything. Don't make them prove.
Just like profitable versus non-profitable bettors, I just feel like they are very far and few between.
You're tuned in to Gambling with Good JuJu.
Welcome in, everybody, to Gambling with Good JuJu, the show that talks about gambling with an edge as it bets the process in order to be better bettors so we can live the better life while avoiding the risk of ruin. Hey, before we kick things off, do us a favor and head on over to YouTube, subscribe to the show, and leave us a comment with your thoughts. Listening on audio, give us a follow, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. I'm getting greedy this week.
Oh, yeah.
Like social media, hit us up at Good Juju Bets on Twitter or Instagram. And if you really like us, then head on over to goodjujubets.net, click on the merch shop, and show your support. Today on the show, we're talking with Jordan, one of the two-headed monster that makes up Bee Bettor. Bee Bettor offers free tools to help you build, execute, and track your sports betting strategies. Jordan's also the man behind Bee Bettor Discord reviews. In this, he subscribes to different Discord services to try and determine if any of them aren't scamming you. Juice and I each have our thoughts on our... Yeah, you like that one.
That's good.
Yeah. Juice and I each have our thoughts on the ability to tail other originators and whether some of these individuals can even be called originators. We had fun hangs with Jordan in Vegas and are beyond excited to welcome him onto the show. But before we get to Jordan, we have to keep the audience updated.
Do we?
We have to keep the audience updated. Week 2 of the Mucho Dinero answer key, 60%, 2 weeks in a row,
All right.
sir. 60% we have hit with the Mucho Dinero answer key for college football. And we just decided this week, well, why, if we're doing this, why not quadruple the number of markets we're looking at?
Yeah.
Something along those lines, which took the act of getting us from here's the database and the lines are up to here are the bets. It took a lot longer.
A little bit more of a grind.
A little bit more work this week
Yeah.
when you have 4 times as many markets to go through
Yes.
for every college football game, and you still haven't automated anything.
Yeah, Justin, thank you for adding them.
Justin, you're doing a wonderful job. We love you, show superfan, Uncle Justin. Jordan, that's a little cue as far as some of the information that we are going to be asking you about as we move forward on this episode. Welcome in, fellow sharp bettor Jordan. What did you think of Bet Bash? Let's start there.
Bet Bash was awesome. It was my first Bet Bash. And I mean, I've only been to Vegas a couple times, so it was nice to be downtown. I really enjoyed being downtown. It was my first experience down there. Fremont Street was, I don't know, Fremont Street. I feel like you have to be there to kind of know what Fremont Street is. But yeah, Bet Bash was great. It's always good connecting with so many smart people. I feel like you can have a conversation with anyone and you're going to take something out of it, whether it's, you know, betting kind of stories, tips, advice, just anything. And just from people who've been in it a lot longer than I have. So took a lot out of it. Got to meet lots of cool people, gamble, drink, all those great things. It was a great time.
Any interesting stories or learnings or anything like that from the event?
I feel like prediction markets, I mean, they're still kind of the talk of the last, I don't know, however long of betting. And there's it almost seemed like people were half and half. A lot of people were skeptical, which kind of surprised me. I think that was just a lot of the kind of, what's the word I want to use, traditional gamblers who, you know, grew up and have kind of been doing the same thing, and the prediction market kind of throws some interesting, not wrenches, but just kind of shakes it up a little bit, which is exciting to kind of navigate through. But yeah, there's a lot of prediction market talk that I found pretty interesting throughout the conference.
What are prediction markets like for you guys up in Canada?
None. We have STX, which is an exchange type platform. Polymarket is available everywhere but Ontario, where I'm currently located. And then Kalshi, not available in Canada.
Yeah, bummer. It is interesting, now that we're doing the college football thing pretty seriously. I didn't do the math on the fact that I should be betting on Illinois football teams on these.
Yeah. That's
So that
kind of
was,
like, that's why I'm curious about this now.
Yeah.
When we went to Bet Bash, we didn't take very seriously the panels covering that.
Right.
But now maybe we should have.
And then you compound that with no fees, or not no fees, but no extra fees in Illinois.
No extra fees on, well, they're not sports bets. They're
Right. They're not sports bets. Yeah.
And the tax implications too, because we
who
just
knows what
found
that
out the
is.
Fair Bet Act got tabled or whatever.
Yeah, of
They
course.
pushed back on that. So if we're going to cap wins at 90% of losses, this experiment with answer keys been real short. Like we have no chance.
I guess we'll have to get creative.
Right. Exchange it.
That was another
Exchange it.
interesting one. Was talking to people about the Fair Bet Act and the 90% losses, and it was interesting being from a outside of America perspective where that kind of sucks. It's not great, but it doesn't affect my day to day. Hopefully, nothing like that happens over here. But
We
yeah,
want we
a lot
want
of people-
Jordan's perspective on U.S. law related to. We kind of just went off on that side tangent there, didn't we?
Yeah.
a lot of people just seem to kind of realize it's out of their hands, and I don't know. That might be the right approach. Can't really do anything. You just gotta go to the offshores if it happens, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Well, you can absolutely say
Absolutely.
that. Hey, got any other tips? Right, take out your pen.
Right. Well, we are recording.
That's true.
Yeah, I haven't dabbled in those yet, but I'm sure it's inevitable.
Well, we're on the path now, so that's
Yeah.
cool. All right, let's get into today's topic: tailing. Is it a real thing? Do you think tailing other cappers, touts is a viable strategy in any capacity for anyone based on your experiences? Jordan, go.
Short answer: yes, it can be.
Okay.
I think it is hard to find someone who is transparent, profitable. That's probably one of the most important things you care about, but profitability and transparency. And then the ability, can you actually get down on those lines? Because it's one thing to post kind of stale lines or stuff like that, but if they have any sort of size in their Discord, then those lines aren't going to last long. So you just, sitting at your phone all day waiting for these lines to drop. There's kind of so many factors that go into it. I do believe there are good resources out there. I just think that they are just like profitable versus non-profitable bettors. I just feel like they are very far and few between.
If you're trying to tail someone and you're not always getting the absolute best of every bet, does that guarantee that the bets you are getting, there's some leakage in profitability there? Or that those could still just be as good as the ones that are moving quicker?
If you're only getting the ones that haven't moved, then why haven't they moved? Maybe the book's more comfortable at that price. It's not as sensitive. It wasn't as good of a bet. All those theories could all be true. And I think, you're probably getting, I guess, less good. I don't know if worse is the right word, but if you have one that gets, moved 3 points for a spread or something like that, and you completely missed it, then, you just lost probably a significant amount of, expected value and profit. And if you're not getting those and you're taking ones that have been stale for 25 minutes, then you're probably not fully taking advantage of, what that person is offering.
That's probably the single biggest frustration I've had as a bettor trying to tail others, especially back in the day. I don't do this anymore, but like people would post like releases and they'd say, we're going to release a play here in 5 minutes, and everyone would get together and the Discord or wherever it is that they're going to release the play. And then they drop the play and you've got 30 seconds
Maybe.
thereabouts
Maybe,
to get the
yeah.
play down.
Depending on the size of the group, right?
And figure out what the bet is, what book has it good, and get it down before it moves.
Yeah.
And I, at a
get a
certain
st-
point, was like, I can't take this anymore.
It's a mental, right? It's a mental block, or
Sorry, you got to get like reps in almost of like practicing. Like, all right, I got to navigate. You know exactly where, if you're using a search or maybe just scrolling through the lines. You're like, okay, on Prop Builder, this prop is 3 from the bottom. On FanDuel, it's 4 from the top. Like, you're just like getting reps in.
Yeah, muscle
practice
memory
to get these releases.
Yeah.
I used to tail right angle sports free plays, and you wouldn't get 15 seconds.
Yeah, a very
Tell that
sophisticated release process
Very
where they were
sophisticated.
trying their best to like give everybody a
Seem that way.
chance. Yeah.
So they say.
So they say, right? Who knows?
I don't know.
You trust anybody.
Yeah. Okay. So, in your opinion, what do you think are the biggest? Let's go here. What are the biggest benefits that you can get out of tailing someone?
I think I've been in a fair amount of promo discords. And I think I reviewed No Livers was the first batch. I think promos are one of the easiest and best ways to kind of get EV, make sure that you're getting good bets. If you're boosting something that already is a pretty good line, then, it's better than just blindly taking bets. So there's quite a few good promo discords out there. I think that is one of the biggest advantages I've found in, paying for or tailing someone with these promos. If you have a job or you just don't care that much to go find them yourselves, because they're getting harder and harder with DraftKings giving you 5-leg 10% boosts and all these requirements. Before it was just singles. Now you got to play these same game parlays and same game parlay pluses. So if you can pay someone and they have good transparency and they find kind of unique spots and they cover a good range of books, then it can save you so much time, and that you're getting good EV on each bet. Then I think it's almost a no-brainer. You're paying $20-$30 a month to get these promos down. It's I think it's really great for even especially a intermediate novice bettor who probably doesn't take advantage of those promos and wants to get a little sharper. I think that's kind of what I found to be use case number one of if you want to buy some picks.
Yeah, it's a great
Not picks, but
a service, right? Yeah, that's a great comment on kind of using a little bit of a group think to efficiently use those promos. Yeah, that is probably the best case for this. We never really even did that.
Did their releases move quickly in that Discord?
yeah. So that it was kind of hit or miss on the book. So DraftKings on like certain baseball ones, if it was like a year fee or kind of one of those more niche markets where a year fee, NER fee boost on DraftKings, there's only, on the best day, 30 options. And if one of those is clearly the best, then every promo Discord's probably on, that same subset of year fees. And then when a bunch of people hit that all at the same time, that's going to disappear quickly. And then when there's more unique ones that people build out, those either tend to last really long because on certain books, because I don't think the books know what they're doing or they just don't know how to price correlation. Or like DraftKings, sometimes they're like, oh, we just really screwed this up. Let's go fix it quick. It's kind of hit or miss. Depends on the promo, depends on the book. But that one was small enough. And again, No Liver Discord was relatively small, so it was I'd say overall pretty well. I could tail most of them and get in, so it was good.
So let's get into this then, because one of the main reasons we brought you on this episode to talk about tailing is you have a process of joining Discords, belonging to them for a month, and then writing reviews based on your experience for them. How many of these reviews have you published at this point? 3 reviews. How many more do you have in the works, if I might ask?
I have 3 more in the works. I'll admit I've been slacking. It was a busy August and then gearing up for football season. I'm hoping this podcast gets me, now it's going to be out there. I gotta get back on it. I gotta get something out there for the people. People have been in the DM. So yeah, I've been kind of slacking, putting it off for too long. I gotta go.
You tell him, audience.
Yeah, right.
Get him going. Let's
give
go.
the people what they want.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right. So far you've reviewed 3 Discords. Are you able to tell us what the names of the 3 Discords that you joined?
Yeah, I'll try and do my best to remember. There was one called Guap Pays. I don't know if that was the name of the Discord, but that was the person that I purchased from on Dub Club.
And this is a Dub Club Discord, the first one?
That was a Dub
Okay,
Club
so there's a
Discord.
Dub Club
It had a
Discord.
bunch of people in it, but I found out that afterwards that you had to pay more money for like access to the other 2 people. But I just paid for that specific person. Beat the Books, who's pretty big. That one caused a stir. And No Liver, who I mentioned before, did the promo, and yeah, he was the good one. He was the best of the bunch.
How did you pick those 3? Just curious.
So the first one, the Dub Club one, he was the number 1 listed
Oh,
kind of capper on Dub Club, and I was like, well, this is a perfect starting point. Dub Club number 1 capper. How it doesn't get better than that, apparently.
right.
He's down to like, I don't even know. I haven't checked in a while, but I mean, a week after the Discord, I think he's down to like 8 or 9 or something like that. I don't know if that had anything to do with me or not. But Beat the Books, I knew about them. I knew a lot of my friends had kind of been in there before. They're pretty big. I talked to Joke and JFar, and they seemed like they had an edge and smart people, and I've heard them talk, and they seemed to do good. And then I kind of saw things come up about how much units they were down in the last like 3 months or something like that, and just seemed like a lot of opinions were circulating. It was a really big Discord, and it seemed like a good starting point to go in and just see what was up and kind of give a unbiased, honest review. And then No Liver, I had high hopes. I'd known of No Liver before. I've seen his like free stuff on Twitter, and I wanted to like kind of pick one that I figured would be bad, one that I was kind of in the middle about that I didn't really know, and one that I had decently high confidence was going to have at least some sort of value. And I think I got that range pretty well in those 3. So
Good.
All right. We're going to start with the Beat the Books one.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So you started off, that was the first review you released, correct? Was Beat the Books?
No, it was the last one.
Oh, okay.
Really? What was the first one you released?
The first one was the Guap Pay Dub Club Capper one.
Oh.
Well, this is the one that caused the most.
All right. Well, we're going to start with the Beat the Books one anyway, because this is the one that caused the biggest kerfuffle. All right. So going into your review for Beat the Books, what was your thoughts? Like, what were you feeling good? Like, I'm joining a profitable Discord here. Were you like, I don't have any idea what's going to happen here? Or were you pessimistic?
Again, I tried to remain as kind of neutral, unbiased, not mean as possible throughout the entire thing, and just be very kind of factual of what I saw. So going in, again, I'd say slightly optimistic. I'd seen so many good things. I'd seen some things that I personally was skeptical about, and then I saw people tracking and it being down a bunch in the month. So I really just wanted to kind of get to the bottom of what was the truth, or what was actually going on. I think that was kind of the initial thought. I didn't really have any. I was in the middle again.
So you were doing your best.
This is going to be horrible
to remain Switzerland here and to get through this and
Yeah.
to be as unbiased as possible as you go in. So what are then the criteria by which you're evaluating these Discords? Like what makes you decide one's good versus bad?
So I think, I forget, was it 8 or 10? Let me see if I can pull it up here. So I had the different criteria. So bet tracking, profitability / ROI, the availability of picks, unit sizing, risk management, the community, betting insights or education, price and value, uniqueness, and then honesty and transparency. Those were the 10 criteria that I kind of picked.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty encompassing.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I'm going through it. I'm like, yeah, okay. All right. Okay. So you're reviewing Beat the Books. Start off, what are some of the things you really liked about Beat the Books?
Yeah, so I think the first thing that kind of came up was they had a actual recaps channel. It tracked every play that they have. I don't know the exact number, over 10, I think, different cappers in there. So it's a lot of plays coming at you at once, but they have a separate or it's one tracking channel, but separates them by capper. You can see the daily, weekly, monthly, year to date, and all time results. And I think it should be a baseline for most Discords, but I don't think that's the case. And it's not third party tracked. It's just someone else kind of just recapping their days, which is totally fine if it's done properly. But this one's supposedly third party. I was within a fair enough margin of my own tracking that it would like matched up. I definitely could have been on me. In some cases, they were actually lower than what I had. So that was really great. I think the kind of tracking and transparency in that aspect was really good. And then I think having 10 cappers is, it's good and bad. I think the good of it is, we're in baseball season, like heart of summer, but tennis and all these different sports were being covered. So you kind of didn't have a shortage of, plays, which is, as a gambler, and that, that's probably what part of people are paying for is just, action and getting bets down. So I thought those were two great things.
And what were some of the things that they needed to improve on, in your opinion?
Yeah. So I think it kind of goes back to what I ended on with good and bad of having so many people is they do a good job. Again, I'll kind of add one more good thing of, hey, you can't tail all 10 of these people. You're going to be betting, 3x your bankroll every day. But they had a kind of channel explaining, okay, here's what each person does. Maybe if you pick this person who does long shots, you should tail them with someone safer. So that was really good. But I think the biggest problem, and this was kind of at the end of the review and what I said, is the transparency in terms of how they market it. And again, I said this, it's a Twitter-wide problem. It's not, unique to them, but with their size and amount of cappers, it really kind of escalates and makes it a lot bigger, where one of their cappers hits a huge parlay and then they promote it as most people do when they hit a huge parlay. And then people join and they tail that capper. And the math says that they're probably not going to hit another parlay like that for, a long time, or, not a short enough time, especially with today where people kind of just, they saw that big win. They want the instant gratification of another one. And so they'll tail that person for a little bit, get frustrated, go to another one. And then, maybe that person hits one and then they see the next person hit one. And suddenly they're jumping back and forth and they probably lost more units than they gained. And again, that's not like beat the books. It's not their problem that the consumer is doing that, but they know what they're doing when they market it that way.
Right.
And I think I was explaining this another time of, is that their fault or is that the consumer's fault? And we kind of went round circle of if you don't really blame them for that, you blame the consumer, then I can see where you're coming from on that. And if they can sleep at night knowing what they're doing, then by all means, they seem to be doing pretty well at it. So that kind of just comes that circle argument of whose fault is it and who takes the blame.
It's their job to get users.
Yeah.
And they're doing that through Twitter. And the Twitter algorithm is certainly giving them preference when they give big lottery parlays. And so a bunch of eyeballs are being seen on those, right? So it's like, what do you expect them to do? Be like, hey, look at this minus 200 I hit. It's like, nobody's probably going to care, right?
I don't know whose shoulders that responsibility falls on, but ultimately, if the market's pure, it's going to bear out, with regards to their subscriptions, whether they're trying to behave or whether they're operating in an honest way or not.
Yeah.
But let me ask this. What was your overall review for them? What was your rating for them?
Yeah. So I forget I'm going to pull it up real quick. I have it. So it was a 6.5 out of 10, which I thought was very fair. Again, it kind of matched with going in. I got to the bottom, kind of just to add to the last point there. I got to the bottom of, they were down almost a full bankroll, which kind of proves they were overbetting their edge. Yeah, 99 units on the year. So and I said that very clearly in the Discord, like they were overbetting their edge. They admitted that to me, that they were overbetting their edge, and they did change things. And they did have good months while I was in there. I think the one that I was tracked, Joke or J4, they both had good months. And it kind of goes to the last point of, what makes it good or bad. And if you missed one of those Joke plays, he was up 40 units on the month. If you missed one of them, you would have been down on the month.
Right.
You had one huge play. So, and that's where the lotto style of Discord, kind of like tailing picks is also kind of flawed of no one's going to be able to get every single play. And I mean, even you're talking about like releases, it's a similar-ish thing. You know, people have lives, people get busy. I like to think of the average person, I'm way more available to be on my phone, especially because I was putting time and effort into this, and I still missed so many and just wasn't able to get them in at the odds and, you know, this and that. And so that was kind of the last thing I wanted to say on the kind of the bad aspect of, you know, lines moving and tailing these big lottos. But overall, again, 99 units is inexcusable, and I think it talks to the state of a Discord of like that's still a 6.5 out of 10 because there's so much worse out there. I think they are doing good things, and then there's obviously lots that could be improved on. But I ended it with saying I don't think they're outright scamming people. It was very civil at the start. They agreed with a lot of my sentiments, and then I went to bed kind of surprised, and then the next day it kind of
all right. Well, let's get into it
from there. But,
yeah. So let's get into this. So what happened? The day after you released this Discord, your phone starts blowing up, and you're not sure why.
I'm trying to think of the igniting force. Basically, so I posted it like kind of late, whatever night it was. I don't remember the day, but and it kind of not blew up, but it got pretty big, and there's lots of people kind of commenting on it and stuff, and people DMing me. And I think I talked publicly and privately with Joke, and it was, you know, well received, and we had a very civil conversation, and I felt good about it. The next day, people were still kind of getting worked up about it, like outside people, like people not in the Discord. And something was said about how do you feel about living off subscribers' money? Like if you're down, you know, 60 units on the year, you're not living off that. You're living off the money you make from your subscribers. And he said something, I probably should have pulled the screenshot up for this, about there was some profanity, but basically the gist of it was, don't talk to me, you're poor, I'm flying first class to Spain in a couple days, which rubbed me the wrong way. And I think it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And all I did was comment under that and say, probably not the best thing to say when accused of living off other people's sub money. I didn't think that was that bad of a comment. It was just an observation, a comment I made. And then I put my phone down. And then 20 minutes later, I look back, and it was hot. It was insane. And I was getting called out by everyone and this, that, and everything. And it went on for a little bit.
Did you get to see any metrics on how the article itself did?
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head.
I don't need the number. Did it do well? Like, did your article blow up?
The article itself did pretty well, but it was like because it just went on. I mean, I'll be 100% honest here. Like I like to engage in some Twitter talk, let's call it. I'm not one to kind of back down from that, and, you know, I'll have my fun, and I'll back it up, and I'll say my thoughts. I'm not really that scared to. So I kind of just kept responding to it, and like there's quote retweets and replies, and those were the ones that really blew up. Of just like, I forget, I said something and a bunch of people kind of retweet that, and then that one goes off, and then suddenly that's the new thread. And yeah, it did pretty well. The impression numbers, I don't think they've touched anywhere near that in the last couple months.
So you give a pedestrian review, not a canning review, not a over the moon review, but there's some things to work on there, fellas. You know, it feels like it's fairly benign, all things considered, the review itself, especially given that you gave another Discord, like, what was it, like a 1.5 or something like that?
1.5 or 1.7, yeah.
Did you get any crap over that one?
No, most people kind of agreed with the analysis.
Yeah. What about the capper? Did the capper reply to you on that one?
The capper did reach out to me privately. I don't know how much I want to say
fair
on that. They were candid. They were honest with their thoughts on it. And then I told them, okay, I don't need an apology or whatever, but like, if this is how you feel. Be better. And
That's
then
with two E's.
yeah, that's with two E's. And then they kind of just kept doing their thing. So
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think that was genuine at all. So that's kind of what I'll say about that.
But the impressions on your 1.5 reviewed article, did they come anywhere near the impressions of your 6.5 article?
The 1.5 article technically did better.
Oh, wow.
Whoa,
Yeah.
hey.
But you had
It
all
was the first one. It was the first one, and it got a lot of retweets of like, wow, this is bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, I think it got a couple big retweets from some bigger accounts of like, I commend what this person's doing. Like, this is well written. This Discord is horrible.
Yeah.
Who pays for stuff? You know, like, it was the first one, and it was so bad, and people were kind of just like, wow. They were kind of just shocked with the results. So it got a lot more like quote retweets from bigger accounts and just more comments of like people quoting things I wrote about and stuff like that. Whereas the B2B one, the article itself didn't get as many impressions, but the aftermath impressions way far surpassed anything from the articles.
Gotcha.
None of those guys were at Bet Bash, were they? The Beat the Books guys.
There was someone. This is a funny story. There was someone in there. I don't know if I mentioned them in the article specifically, but I do have respect for what they do. And I actually got matched with him in speed networking.
Oh, wow.
And I sat down. I was about to sit down at the table, and he sees the hat, and he goes, "Oh, well, this will be interesting." And the first thing out of my mouth was, "Uh-oh, did I talk about you on the internet?" And he goes, "Well, not directly." And then he explained, himself, and I was like, "Wow, what are the chances of this?" And then we had a very nice talk, and it was all good.
Good. That's wild. What are the chances?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. But no,
I wish I had met that person as well, because I do know who you're talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I would have need to meet him.
Okay.
So maybe I would get to do that someday. All right, you had 3 Discord reviews. My only question about your third Discord, you gave it an 8.5, correct? Should we all just go join that Discord right now, or what are we talking about here, Jordan?
So this kind of gets into I think this was part of what I got some negative comments on throughout the whole process. So I gave it an 8.5. I gave it a link saying, I recommend 8.5 is a pretty good score. I recommend this Discord. I think you should join it. Here's a link to the WAP page or whatever. And if you use code Bee Bettor, you get, $5 off your first month. I get nothing from it.
Yeah.
And people jumped on me saying I'm a sellout. And if I put a link on it, then it takes away the validity and the bias stuff on that and yada, yada, yada. And I took a step back because I thought about it before and I didn't think it was that bad. And then I took a step back and realized I can see what they're thinking. I still don't really think it was that bad, but No Liver, the person I reviewed, actually had to kind of come to my aid and show the screenshot of the DMs. I DM'd him the day, like an hour, 2 hours before I released the review saying, "Hey, I joined your Discord last month. I thought it was awesome. I'd love to do some sort of code to get people to join it." And he said, "That's awesome. Here's the code. It's this. It's good for, $5 a month, and post it." And, he kind of posted that screenshot on Twitter. Like, he just talked to me today. There was no collusion. There was no, unbiasedness. So that was nice. But yeah, people, and then they kind of attacked me for that. So,
and you received nothing via this link. So
No
it's not
money.
like if anyone clicked in this link, you received a little cut of change, correct?
No, I think if you read the review, like, I put a soft kind of feeling of like, I think I used the word like affiliate deal. Again, if he said, it was like a $20 a month Discord, they are getting $5 off. I don't know what the percentage would have been. Again, we didn't even get that far.
Yeah.
What would I get? $1.50 maybe?
Right.
It wasn't really going to move the needle regardless. So again, the message may come across of, "Oh yeah, I was looking for a payday." I don't think I would have got rich off the payday from it. I hope lots of people signed up because I think it's a good Discord. But yeah, I received
Good.
$0 from it. So.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I think I've got your fix for you, Jordan. You just need to start putting the links to all the shitty Discords as well. And just start saying, look, hey, I don't
$5 off.
recommend this at all, but people are calling me biased. So here's the link if you want to join this terrible Discord.
Right, you're just trying to do the reader a service.
Yeah, like you're literally just like, hey, this is a good one. I do recommend it. Here's 5 seconds saved with the link to get there.
Right.
But now
And I got them $5 off too.
Right. And you gave them a discount.
well,
Yeah.
what if someone wants to join the 1.5, Jordan? You have not done them a service by putting out there the link for them to join.
Well,
We've got the fix.
I just want to say I think it's awesome that you did this. I hope you continue to do it. It's not going to be an easy education of the consumer, but without stuff like this, like they're really kind of drowning from the beginning.
Yeah. Speaking of educating,
Oh, yeah.
let's hear about your tools. What's going on with the Bee Bettor products? What can you tell us about what you guys do at Bee Bettor?
Yeah, so Bee Bettor is a completely free tool. I also make no money off that, so that's good.
We're gonna
$100 out
Hey,
there.
Jordan, we also don't know how to monetize
Yeah,
our
right.
gambling production activities. Should figure this out.
But yeah, it's a free tool, free to use for everyone. We have, I think, about 17 sports books and some exchanges on there now. We have an odds screen, a plus EV screener where you can set custom weights. I'm a firm believer that we were the first ones to create custom weights. Now, a lot of the other services have them, but basically you can set who you think is sharp on, basically any market and have up to 10 weights there. So pretty cool. We have a mobile app that sends notifications as well. We have a couple other tools to track line movement. You can track your bets, kind of just all encompassing kind of odd screen EV tool.
And why do you keep it all free?
We decided to keep it free because when we first launched, we undercut the market huge. Like the odds jams of the world, they were charging hundreds of dollars. We came up $15 your first month, $30 your next month. It was going well. The next kind of year, we thought we were pretty early in the space, and then the next year, so many EV screeners, and it's only kind of helped the general consumer. There's so many great tools out there.
Yeah.
And it kind of just kept dwindling down. We thought we could explore some other areas for kind of revenue that wasn't directly tied to consumer subscription, and thought, hey, let's just go free, gain a bunch of users. Maybe people will like it, and then figure out the monetization plan later and just kind of build that brand and build that audience. Yeah, we did that, and it's been fun.
Awesome.
You use their tool.
Absolutely.
Right?
I use your tool every single day, so I love it. The interface is great.
But
The way that you guys lay out a lot of what I'll call signal is so easy to digest as a user. So I appreciate it. There is no affiliate link. Just want to make that aware.
You guys will get 0% of zero.
Yeah, right.
That's a heck of a deal. That's also 100%.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting all
I should
of
have
it.
phrased it as that. Actually.
Yeah. You could have
a people.
Yeah.
You get 100% of the revenue you bring in through your affiliate link.
Yeah.
Last question for you. We ask this of everyone. It's a little bit ridiculous. Have you ever been thrown out of a casino or come close?
So here's a fun.
Oh,
and
boy.
I don't know about thrown out, but so I was stuffing some kambi kiosks one night, and they politely told me to stop. And so then I sent the people that I was with to stuff some kambi casinos, and then they completely ignored them and just told me that I needed to leave. So I did. I didn't get escorted or anything.
Yeah.
I was civil about it. I was like, all right, I had a fun night. And then no harm, no foul. It was good. And then I forget how long ago that was, over a year now. And then 6 months ago, I was at the same casino. I did not talk to anyone. I was in there for about 40 seconds. I ran right up to the kiosk, and I tried to place a bet on a college basketball game, and they only let me bet $40.
Wow.
I have no idea how they did that. I guess my ID at the door.
But you didn't put anything
then
into the kiosk machine to identify yourself?
No, nothing at the kiosk. No player card or anything.
Wow.
I just put money in and bet it, and then they said the limit was $40. And then I got the person I was with that to go and kind of do something else, and they could get, a few hundred down.
Wow.
So I don't know. I guess casinos are pretty sophisticated. I didn't know they're that sophisticated in Canada, but yeah, that's my interesting casino story.
Yeah.
But, like, you
interesting.
could go into that same casino and go up to a blackjack table and play blackjack.
Oh yeah, I just started playing blackjack the rest of the night.
So you've been red booked by the sports book at your local
I guess
casino?
so.
That's wild. So do you
Yeah.
think it was just the amount of action you were putting in, or the fact that they saw what you were betting into and didn't like it?
Yeah, I think it was probably just the sheer amount of. I don't even think I made that much money, because it was just a bunch of. I think it was just like that college or not college, NBA player prop
Right.
markets basically, and I think hindsight, what wasn't great was they had the alt lines, and so if I was betting, for some reason Victor Wembanyama is coming to my head about this, and it was like points, rebounds, assists, and I don't know what the number would have been. We'll say like 42, 43, 44, and I just like hammered them all.
Yeah.
So and then I'm guessing that's not degenerate behavior. Or,
Right. Probably doesn't look wreck.
Yeah. So then I did that, and I kind of just like sat there, and then I'd go sit down, and then I'd scroll on Bee Bettor and give it a refresh, and then I'd get a new batch of lines, and then I'd go do that again. And I did that for a few hours, and I didn't even cash most of the tickets, and just kept getting vouchers. But yeah, they probably just saw
Yeah.
cycles of 2, 3, 4 of the same player prop, just different numbers being bet into, and yeah, I guess they didn't like that very much.
Dude, I can't wait. All I can think now, I can't wait to get red booked by the FanDuel kiosks at the Paradise.
It's going to be a fun day. It's like, you again? What are you doing here?
You got to stop doing this. We're not going to let you. It's like, dude, buddy, chill.
Relax.
We know each other. It's cool.
We're cool. We've been here the whole time you've existed.
Dude, I'm going to give it back at the craps table because this idiot makes me play.
Right. Right. Call Uncle Boyd. We're good.
Jordan, that was a great story, and that's a great reason. That's a good reason why we asked that question. Because you don't strike me as an individual who's going to lose his cool and get kicked out of a casino, but it turns out you're just too damn smart for him. I respect that. That is wonderful. Jordan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us this evening. You can find out all about Bee Bettor products via their website, beebettor.com. That's BeeBettor.com, or via their Twitter at Bee Bettor. That's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next week to talk about Juice's birthday trip to the Paradise, other YOLO gambling stories, and anything else in life that happens to interest us. Good juju to your bets, everyone, and we'll talk again soon.
Yay.
Hopefully we were full of wisdom for you, Jordan.
You guys were. I was. I've been watching the. You guys were just recapping there, and the results. Well, early. I don't know. They're promising.
We're feeling as cocky can be right now, but
I don't even want to talk about
from
it.
the intro.
I'm pretty sure we're about to be millionaires. Now we just got to figure out how to scale it.
Yeah, it's gonna
Scale
say.
Town.
It's inevitable.
That's our next thing is Scale Town. So we're gonna get there. We are gonna
Season
get
4.
there. Season 4, Scale Town. That's gonna be our.
All right.
All right.